Welcome to another edition of After the Whistle. I think the last one we did was a month ago. Yeah,
I thought it was a couple weeks ago, but I could be wrong.
no, it was a month ago. I think it was April 24th. I'm looking at the day right now. That was the last show. I'm here. Todd's here. We still on this quarantine. He got a haircut. I have yet to still get one still.
I gave myself a haircut, so.
Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to open back up soon. They said next week.
I'm hoping so. This is a pain. I don't like doing it. It's like an hour and a half out of my day. I could be doing something else.
I hear you, man. Besides that, what's quarantine been like?
Day to day, just working out, staying in shape the best way I can, staying busy, working on some projects. How about you, man?
I heard someone say the world hasn't been the same since Tony Stark died, and I started dying. I started rolling. You know what? They have a point.
This is true, man. This is true. It's kind of like the Twilight Zone. At some point, every day, at the end of the night, I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah, for real. But we do got some sports. There's been some things happening. The Last Dance finished this past weekend, episodes 9 and 10. Overall, what was your thoughts overall about The Last Dance?
I mean, it really wasn't much we didn't already know because, we grew up kind of under, that Jordan era and being able to watch him, his last three-peat. Because I remember sitting at the TV watching him hit that shot, on Byron Russell. So, overall, it was good. Some things I didn't really like. I didn't like how they portrayed Scotty so much. He had some bad moments he put on himself. But also, too, it just portrayed him like he was super soft, and he's more or less than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it had good moments and bad moments. And definitely Jordan picking on Jerry Krause was not a good look at all. It just got to a certain point where it was just like, all right, like really, like you just are relentless with him, and then with the teammates, it looked like it was bullying. Some say it was bullying. I personally didn't think much of him and the antics or whatever the bullying he was doing with the teammates, because I'm just like, that's honestly, if you play on any basketball team or any sports team, there's at least one or two guys on any team on every level that are like that. And I'm just like, so people saying this whole bullying stuff, I'm just like, some of y'all got to get over it, because that literally happens on every level.
That's no different than being in a house full of siblings. I don't have any, but I'm sure it's all everybody's different personality and everybody serves a different purpose on the team and in the family. I'm that type of guy to antagonize certain teammates and get under people's skin just because I know they can do better and just to get a rise out of them to make them compete a little better. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to know when to pull off. After a while, it becomes annoying.
Yeah.
Some people don't ever think they're annoying. So, that's one thing, me, I know when I can get on somebody's nerves, I tend to fall back. So, he probably never thought he was being annoying. He thought just being on somebody every day is getting the best out of him. After a while, it's just like, dude, shut up. Oh, we got to fight. You know what I mean?
But the crazy thing is, the guys that actually pushed back on him, he never bothered them again. I just read an article with Bill Cartwright. He told Bill Cartwright that he was going to fight him. I think it was after a practice. I think Robert Parrish, his last year. I said Bill Cartwright.
Oh, yeah.
Robert Parrish, his last year in the league with the Bulls, I think it was 96, 97. He said there was during a practice, I think he fumbled, he made a mistake or something, and then Jordan was getting on him and told him, he'll kick his ass. And Robert Parrish said, I bet you won't. And he said after that, he never bothered him again.
Yeah, I think Jordan had to be reminded that, he is at the top of the mountaintop, but there were people that were there before you, and Robert Parrish was one of them. You know what I mean? And, I was thankful enough to be able to meet Robert Parrish and try out his championship ring with the Bulls, actually, at that D. Brown Robert Parrish camp years ago as a youngin'.
Yeah.
So I was able to actually meet Robert and talk to him with his time with the Bulls, which is kind of cool now I think about it.
Yeah, and it just shows you, if you actually just, defended yourself or stepped up and just, told him to relax, he would actually relax. But some of the guys, they just never defended themselves, like Scott Burrell. He never, at some point, you got to defend yourself somehow. Even Steve Kerr defended himself.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what a bully really is, though. It's a test. They test you until you finally test them, and then it's like, all right, cool, you've earned that rite of passage.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, Burrell wasn't no little guy. So I think Burrell's one of them super cool guys to the point that if he did lose his mind, he probably would destroy Jordan. Like, because he wasn't no little guy at all.
I know. Was he like 6'8" or something? Like 250?
He was a big guy. I don't mean on the court destroying him. I mean physically. Like,
yeah, I know. Yeah, all he had to do was hem him up. That's legit. You just gotta hem him up once or something. Just shake him. That's literally all you gotta do. But the last two episodes that got went into the Jazz series, and they were breaking down. The team was just breaking down, and just shows you the wear and tear of going to the finals. 6 out of 8 years, 3 in a row. Scotty, Game 6, he could barely do anything with the bad back, and it's like, whoa, like.
I totally forgot about the bad back.
Me too.
I don't understand how Utah couldn't capitalize on the decoy, but he was still efficient. He was still showing that he had to be covered out there, making points and crucial points of the game. So, and
he said himself he was just a decoy out there because he really couldn't do much but facilitate it and just be a decoy on offense. And yeah, the Jazz definitely fumbled a couple games, but we look back at their first matchup in 96-97, we looked at that and how Steve Kerr came up big with hitting that big shot. And then to give the backstory with Steve Kerr about his father, I knew about his dad, about his dad dying when he was in college. I didn't know like the full details. And when you hear the story from him and his mom, Steve Kerr's mom telling it, you're like, whoa, okay, this is why he is the way he is.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I kind of dozed off at that part and kind of woke back up towards the end. So I got to finish that part. But I definitely knew about, knew about his dad. And, like, me just learning from my own father losing his dad, like, it just kind of they change the perspective a little bit.
Yeah.
You look at life from a different lens compared to what you once looked at it as.
Yeah, and then you also look at it, he's so outspoken on Twitter about gun violence, about politics, and now you see why. It kind of brings forth why he's always speaking about certain things on Twitter regarding political issues when your father was killed because of political reasons.
And like that's most of the people that do like that are like in a different form of life that get into like politics that talk about certain things is because they have a backstory and they have a reason of why they're talking about it. You know what I mean? It might affect their family in a certain way.
Yeah, and you see it. Jordan loses his dad, and Steve Kerr lost his dad, and they end up connecting on the biggest play of that series to pretty much win that series. There's some things you can't write, and then there's some things just write itself, and that's legit one of those things that you're just like, okay, these two, they're both connected in some way with the passing of their father, and they come together to make the biggest play in the series.
They're connected even just deeper than that, you know what I mean? Just because like it was like big brother, little brother, because he was always picking at Kerr. And Kerr finally standing up to him and earned that respect, and then Jordan finally believing in him and giving him passes, you know what I mean? Those assists and giving Kerr the chance to make that opportunity, and he made the best of it.
And Kerr he said himself, he wasn't having a good series. That entire series, he was not having a good series, missing a lot of shots he usually makes, and then that's the perfect definition of staying ready so you won't have to get ready.
And it's a lot easier to be ready when the best player in the world has the ultimate trust in you.
Yeah, because he was double teamed, and if you ain't make that shot, there's probably another fight going to happen in the locker room. So that's definitely one of those moments. You got to make this shot. This is, you haven't taken money, but you got to make this shot.
Definitely.
I'm like, but what was some other things that stood out to you the whole documentary?
The whole documentary, I mean, now that I've been watching, other TV shows and people being so boisterous about their opinions about the after effect of the documentary, Horace Grant, you know what I mean? Him being called, you know what I mean, a snitch and all that by Jordan, and him calling Jordan a snitch now. And my whole thing is y'all all telling. Y'all, that's what it is right now. Y'all all telling about what happened. Like, certain stuff shouldn't have been put in the documentary. You know what I mean? Like, we knew about most of it, just because we were old enough to understand it. But certain things, they should have been left out. And if you guys felt a certain way, you should have called each other before all this was going down. But, teammates don't have that.
He was also on the documentary, too.
I couldn't hear you.
I said he was also on the documentary, too. So I'm
that
just
too.
surprised.
Like,
There was
but
probably
then,
some stuff that he said that got omitted out of it, but
well, yeah, that's what I also heard too. I'm sure you heard the same thing. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So it's
but
just,
it's crazy.
yeah, it was. But the overall documentary, I thought it was cool. I think the world needed it from the competitive aspect because you know me, I'd rather be the top of the mountain. I don't want to have two guys next to me on the top of the mountain just because that's not how we were bred to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with being the best player on the team. It's nothing wrong with being the second best player or being a role player.
Yeah,
You know, nothing wrong with that at all. It's just certain people need to learn their roles nowadays. We live in this world where everybody has a say, everybody has an opinion, everybody feels they should be in the same position as the next guy just because they feel that way, not
yeah.
because they're qualified to be there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, and about the bullying thing with Jordan, one thing people don't understand too, like everybody doesn't understand how to motivate everybody the right way. What motivates him might not be able to motivate the other person. Because I had to learn that myself. Because you know me, I work. And I always expected people to play basketball every day like we did growing up. But in other cities, they don't.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
And I had to understand that.
Yeah, my thing with this whole Horace Grant thing that's going on, it's from like watching it and hearing the stories. It seemed like Horace Grant wanted. I mean, it seemed like, well, it's kind of obvious. Horace Grant wanted more credit than what he got in contributing to the first 3 rings. And my thing was just like, yeah, but you kind of know who's going to get all the credit. This is just the way sports is. You kind of have to know your role. Yeah, you're an integral part of the team, but you're not going to get highlighted or acknowledged like that because who the top guy is on the team. So it was just like he was never happy with, his role on the team. But even though each guy on that team appreciated what he did for them or what he did for that team, because he made it seem like he wasn't appreciated. Maybe management didn't appreciate him by not giving him a contract, but his teammates certainly appreciated him, and it seemed like he didn't think so.
I don't see what the issue is. As long as you get your rings and your check, who cares if you get the endorsement deals and you get the newspaper write-ups? Like, that's all Jordan was getting other than the rings and the cash. So I guess some people want that limelight. Some people just are thrust into it. Like, Jordan was kind of thrusted into it. Yeah. So, like, his game and his play allowed him to be that light, you know what I mean, on the team.
I know, because like he took the NBA to the marketing strategy of the NBA. He took it through the roof because, they had Magic and Larry, but the marketing that Jordan had with Nike and everything, it just took it pretty much is the reason all these guys now are getting paid $100 million contracts and they're averaging like 15 points per game.
Remember, they want to mock him like a tennis player. Instead of the team, they want to mock it an individual. Mm-hmm. And in our reality, there's nothing wrong with that because if you got a guy averaging 30 for his career, why shouldn't he be put on a pedestal higher than the guys that only averaging 10, 12? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
what?
I mean, it's just the natural order of sports. So, if there's always that guy, no matter what you do, there's always that guy that's just going to get it all. Because he naturally pays the bills for the league. Everybody wants to see him. So yeah, some people just need to never felt comfortable with falling in line. So I never understood that, especially on the team sport.
Maybe and it's getting worse. It's getting worse in today's world. It's getting worse too, man.
Yeah, because we got social media
and opinions. Opinions hold a lot of weight that I don't understand why people think they hold weight, but whatever. But
Speaking of social,
our words just words. How much weight do they really hold? You know what I mean? Like,
but speaking of social media, imagine if Dennis Rodman was playing. If there was social media when Dennis Rodman was playing, this guy, Dennis Rodman really went to WCW in the middle of the NBA Finals.
Oh yeah, there had been a million people bashing him for that.
Yo.
A million people. There'd been people sitting next to him. You know what I mean? Like. Bashing them on their cell phones, like.
Now, I did not know. I remember that WCW Nitro. I remember him being there. I never knew it happened during the NBA Finals. I
don't remember that part either, though.
Yeah, I didn't know that's when it happened, but it was. He leaves, misses practice, then goes there, comes back to practice. And then the next game, I think he had like a career high in rebounds. I think he had like 20-something rebounds.
My thing is, like, people care so much on what he's doing, but why should you? He's only getting your rebounds and playing D. Like, if it's Jordan doing all that wild stuff, that might affect his overall play after a while. You know what I mean? Fatigue and all that. But the dude's just playing defense and getting rebounds. Let him be. And he's just an enigma. And he's earned that. I'll be honest. Granted, no professional just earns the right to just be leaving stuff out in the middle of the playoffs and be doing stuff. But, yo, he was in the league for how many years before that? He was like a 12-year vet by then.
Oh, my gosh. I mean,
he was an OG. Like, yo, let that man do what he do. He's on the back end of his career, man. Let Robin be Robin, bro. Like,
we got him asking for a vacation in the middle of the season, and then we got him doing this. We got Michael Jordan having to come into the hotel to get him. And Carmen Electra's hiding behind the couch naked. Like, this is just.
Question: what was the end result?
Oh my God! He produced, but I'm like, man.
Some people, what they say, you don't put a saddle on a Mustang.
Rodman was something else. He
was one of a kind. The worm.
Yeah, he was something else. That Jazz series too. That was, I completely forgot about the 54-point game the Jazz scored for the whole game. I forgot about that game when they lost 5. When they lost 96-54. I completely forgot that game. But the Jazz, they were just, I don't know, Karl Malone came up so small each year in the big moments in the finals because Game 6 in 98, he has a crucial turnover. He can't hold on to, he lets Jordan strip the ball away from him. Him with all that muscles, you'd think he'd hold on to the ball a little tighter, but he let Jordan take the ball away, and then boom, there goes the game. It was like his reputation really took a hit.
Some guys just can't finish.
Granted, he got a bad reputation too.
Well, I'm not touching that. But yeah, like Jesus. But yeah, some people, that moment in time, they just can't finish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people just have a brain dead moment.
He had a few of them, but apparently off the court he didn't have a brain dead moment.
He had brain dead moments off the court too.
Yeah, we can't get into that. And did you see it? Remember when he was on Nitro too?
Yeah, I was just about to mention that too to you. Yeah, he looked little on Nitro.
Him and DDP with them leather pants. Like, man.
I remember. I think I watched that live too.
Yeah, Twitter was talking about why Karl Malone never cut off that hair. That why he never came home and kept that. His.
Oh, man, I let him be. He lives on a ranch, right?
I think.
Let men that do what they do. Because I'm trying to be one of them ranch guys one day too.
Man. Yeah, they live a peaceful life. So we got to the end, and then the end was pretty interesting because Phil Jackson, Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner, was pretty much kind of trying to finally take the blame of why the team was broken up. But I was like, dude, how are you forgetting that you were the owner?
Man, people love catching amnesia. That's all I can say to that, man. It's easy for people to catch amnesia now. They let years pass by and like, oh, I didn't know, but man, it's all recorded, brother. It's all on tape.
And then they had Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson basically told them if they're gonna rebuild, he's not coming. And Phil Jackson wanted to take a year off anyways. He had already said that in the offseason. Apparently, he told Jerry Reinsdorf that. So I don't know. I still think if they brought them together, they could have had a run for one more because coming back, it was a lockout season. They would have got enough rest. Those injuries, they would have healed from those injuries. They would have got. I think they would have had one more in them. I think one more in them. That was it because I think after that they all kind of,
I mean, you pointed out something important for the lockout season. That's a lot of rest.
Yeah, I think they played like 54 games that year too.
That was a lot of rest. So who knows?
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons Jordan came back to the Wizards, because he wasn't ready to retire after that 6-1, but due to the circumstances.
Dude, who would be? You were at the top of your game. Why would you be ready to retire? But due to circumstance, he put his foot down and he said, "I'm not playing for no other coach but Phil." Once you say that, you kind of have to be a man of your word. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you can be looked at a certain way for the rest of your life. So I would have retired too, just because you already put it out there in existence. Like it's one of those you can't pull it back now.
Yeah, for real. Now this documentary has also brought back the big debate of who's the greatest of all time, Jordan, LeBron. This is just an ongoing thing that's never gonna stop. I stopped completely participating in those debates just because some people's reasons for why one's greater than the other. Some of them, it just makes me shake my head, and I'm just like, what are we doing here, man? What is the criteria that we have? Because it seems like the criteria keeps changing every week from people, and I'm like, what actually is the criteria to be the greatest of all time? I need to know.
I mean, from what I think in the NBA, it's winning. But that's even slippery because he's not even the greatest winner. Actually, he is. I think he is only one undefeated, right, in the finals, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't have the most championships. So he's probably considered the greatest winner because he's undefeated. And being undefeated in the finals is big for having 6 championships, and you kind of rose an organization from the ashes to the forefront of the NBA. So like, it wasn't like he jumped from team to team. He rode with the ship. He sank with it and he sailed with it. Like,
yeah, a lot of people always bringing up Russell. I'm like, I always say Bill Russell is in his own category.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Basketball, I don't even, when we talk about great, he's in his own category. And I'm also like, there was also like 5 teams when he was playing, but
it was 11, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't that many teams, and it was always like this. It was always the same 2 teams in the finals too, because they had all the great players. But I just put Bill Russell in a different category just because all the things he had to deal with off the court. That's why. But when I talk about the Jordan and LeBron debate, my key thing is I always go back to this. After they lost to the Pistons 7 games in 1990. Yeah, 1990, after they lost to the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals in 1990, Jordan came back and beat them. Imagine if he would have went to let's just say the Knicks or something, or some team like that, and beat them there. It wouldn't feel the same. It just wouldn't feel the same. I like that to LeBron when he left Cleveland the first time after losing to the Celtics in 6, and then they beat them, and then they beat the Celtics in the playoffs the following year with the Heat. I'm just saying it don't feel the same because he had to go down there to do it. I honestly think if he stayed in Cleveland, that if he came back to Cleveland for 2 more years, they probably would have been in the finals those two years, because after the Celtics beat them that year, they were declining. They were, that was their last good fight that they had at making a run. So I think if had LeBron stayed, he probably could have got one with Cleveland in that early 2010s.
That's the difference between Jordan and LeBron and the idea of the alpha male. Mm-hmm. Jordan just said, I'm just going to continue to get better. And if me getting better on my own doesn't work, I got to get my teammates better as well, the same level that I'm at or close. LeBron was with he's an alpha, but he's like, I need some help. And that's okay. You know what I mean? Because Jordan already had the help.
Yeah.
Once he got Pippen, he had the help. He just had to help him become a better player, be more confident. Yeah. So it's a little different, man. It's different, and it's just different because, like I said, all around players, LeBron's that guy, obviously.
Yeah.
Straight killers, you got Mike and Kobe. So whatever you like, whatever you prefer, whatever your franchise wants to build their team around, that's who you pick.
Yeah.
But the one thing I don't like when I see the polls on ESPN, they try to say Jordan was a way better passer than LeBron. Like, whoa, come on now.
I mean, yeah, I know. LeBron over here making ridiculous behind the back passes from one side of the court to the other.
Like, come on. Like, the 1 year I think Jordan played like I would think mostly the point. He did do well in assists, but come on, like LeBron prides himself on getting his teammates involved. That's
LeBron's a passer first. He's a passer first. LeBron's always been a passer first.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Jordan's a straight killer. But also too, like we forget that Jordan played 3 years of college basketball and LeBron didn't. So like it's easy for us to say like, oh, LeBron say he needs help, but he's a young man who never had the real tutelage to understand how to play with a team in college. College is different. You spend so much time with those guys like your brothers. The NBA, them guys already got kids, families, they doing their own thing. Like Jordan definitely talked about that in the first couple episodes.
Yeah.
But you know, like it's just different. So like that camaraderie he probably was missing. That's why he might have went to Miami. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with being top 3. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. There's nothing wrong with being top 3. But I mean, the whole GOAT debate. I'm over it. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing greatest of all time lists. Certain players be on there, and you're just like, well, what is going on here? What is our criteria for
But yeah, man. Unless you undefeated in the finals, and you got 7, then you can top Jordan.
Yeah, pretty much. And
you're that guy on the team. Don't be like no bench warmer or something getting 7 rings.
Yeah, there was something else that happened in the NBA. I mean, we're gonna transition. There was something else that happened in the NBA. I mean, Paul Pierce over here saying LeBron's not a top 5 player all time. I think he has him at 6 or something like that.
Honestly,
the people he has in front of him are, he had Jordan, Bill, Kobe, Magic, I think Kareem. So
yo, there is nothing wrong. How about just being top 10? Anything wrong with being top 10 greatest players ever? Because there's so many. There's gonna be other guys that break LeBron's records. You know what I mean? In the future, like LeBron just opened the door to a whole different athlete, just like Jordan opened the door to a whole different type of athlete. That's why I try to tell people Jordan was the curve. Like there was nobody moving and playing like Jordan till after Jordan gone to the league, and then more guys started to look and play like him.
Yeah, I know. And plus, in let's say in 5 to 10 years, we're gonna have a whole different conversation of who's top 10 players, because the guys that came in the late 2000s or like 2008, 2009, we're gonna see how their careers turned out, and we're gonna look at that and gonna be like, oh, these guys are worthy of being put in the all-time top 10 list or top 15 or whatever. So it's just always going to change. But some people just so stuck to holding on to certain players, and it's just like,
And some people have a hard time agreeing and disagree. I know some people hate that statement or that quote or whatever, but that's just what it is. Like, you're never going to see eye to eye on certain things, and it's okay.
Yeah, definitely. We forgot to get on this about the flu game, which I always contend was a hangover. He said it was food poisoning. 5 guys delivering pizza to your hotel room. That doesn't sound sketchy at all in Utah, but it still sounded like he had a hangover to me, and he just needs some pizza.
I heard that story before though. That food poisoning story.
Yeah,
I've heard it multiple times. Don't remember where or what I was watching, but I don't know, man. Like,
it was just the other when he said, I think when his trainer said 5 guys came with a box of pizza, like, what did they think? One of the people that Jordan had around him, isn't there somebody to test the food?
You would think.
Right?
You would think.
At that point, you need a food taster, because you can't. 5 guys delivering pizza is just too sketchy.
I wouldn't have ate pizza though. I would have had. I don't know. I would have had a salad or something else.
I would have some Cheetos. I went to that vending machine or something, man. The Mormons out there in Utah trying to.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I never been to Utah, so.
Me either. Never plan on going either.
Nope.
After that. But
Nope.
all right, we're gonna get into what we get into. We're gonna get into Athlete's Corner. We got one of your players, Jessica Ruiz. She talked about her commitment to Plymouth State College. And
Nope.
yeah,
Nope.
Athlete's Corner, check it out. Here it goes. All right, welcome to another edition of Athlete's Corner. Today we have Lynn English High senior Jessica Ruiz with us. Jess, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm here. I'm maintaining. I'm surviving. But it's all good. How's everything been for you the past month or so?
Everything's been good. I've been trying to, stay in shape. Try to stay sane throughout this whole COVID-19. It's hard, but we're getting through it slowly but surely.
Yeah. And so just talk about. Just trying to. So, because normally you guys be in the gym, just trying to get a workout, get shots up, but now it's more so in-home workouts. If you got a hoop in your house, you can shoot in the backyard, but if you don't, you just don't got a chance to get shots up. Just how has it been just trying to stay in basketball shape?
I've been grabbing a ball, just doing some ball handling stuff and just, trying to get some stuff up because I don't have basketball hoops, so it's really kind of hard. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just know.
Yeah, you gotta do it. Just talk about your senior season. You guys had a really good season. Northeastern Conference champs, first time under this coaching staff. Just talk about that. Just the accomplishment that you guys had this season.
Yeah, it was a different experience this year because we had more wins. We were winning more, so it was really different to have people actually support us and come to our games and really I don't know. It was just different, and I really the young ones had a really big part in that. I feel like they are there for us and really I don't know. It was good.
Yeah, you guys were very senior heavy on the team. You guys had a lot of upperclassmen, and then you guys had a lot of young players that could play as well. So just talk about the overall team, how you guys were, just as a unit, because there was a lot of balance.
I think we were very senior heavy, but with the young ones, we really meshed together really well. So I think we worked as a team. I think that together we're better. Mm-hmm. Individually, we were really good players, but as together, that's what made us win more. So I think it was good.
And you guys, your senior class, you guys are the first graduate. You guys are going to be the first graduating senior class for this coaching staff. And, you guys, everyone from the coaching staff to the players, you guys walked in to the program together at the same time. And now to see that you guys are his first graduating senior class, just talk about that, just experiencing all 4 years with the coaching staff.
Yeah, I feel like it was very emotional, leaving, because we have been with him for 4 years and we have experienced so much losing and then winning and all in between, getting better and everything like that. We've been through all those stages. So I feel like leaving and not coming back is really hard. I don't know.
Do you guys feel like you've helped him and the staff set the foundation of what he wants the program to be like?
For sure. I feel like he's had so many personalities and so many different situations that he could really go off of anything that comes at him.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he did a great job not only on the court but just so being able to help players off the court whenever they needed help or just some advice or anything, just not only him but also everyone on that coaching staff?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like Coach Mac wasn't just there on the court. He was there off the court for us. So he wasn't just, our coach. He was more of like a mentor or someone to guide us. He really like taught us like life lessons. So it wasn't just basketball; it was more than that.
Mm-hmm. And for yourself, just talk about your journey going through this and getting to this point. To this point, being able to go to college, just talk about the journey.
I mean, honestly, I never seen myself going to even college, not even just for basketball, but I never seen myself going to college. But coming in freshman year, I was on the JV team. Like, it was like split freshman JV. So I was on that team, and I did not know how to play basketball. I was just, playing to play, like try to learn, because I didn't have much experience. I played in middle school, but it was AAU, and it was like I left so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got bumped up sophomore year at the end, and I turned into a varsity player, and things just started to lighten up for me. So like I just it was like addicted. I was addicted to working out, getting in the gym, really like getting better. It was so fun for me. I don't know. So now that the fact that I can commit to a college and get to play for a college team is really cool and like unbelievable for me.
Yeah, let's talk about your commitment to Plymouth State. What made you choose Plymouth State?
I chose Plymouth State because I had the opportunity to actually go to the school and like stay overnight and meet the coaches, see the players play, and meet the players individually. And I felt like I could see myself going here. Like, it was a really nice environment. It's not too far. Like, it's a perfect distance, and I like the coaching staff. I think they're really nice, genuinely, and the players, I feel like I fit in perfectly. Like, I don't know. It just felt perfect.
What was the recruiting process like? How was that process? It was the first time for you to go through this process. Just tell me overall, were you overwhelmed a bit, or were you just trying to take it in as everything was going?
So the recruiting process, it was difficult. Like, it was hard to get like coaches to come to our games to watch us, and especially watch me, if anything. And I had to be on like my A game for those games, and it was just hard to do that.
Now, was there any other schools that you had that you were looking at, or was it?
Yeah, I had a couple, but Plymouth State's the one that just stood out to me. It just like once I left Plymouth State from the overnight, I could not get it out of my mind. Like, I was like, wow, like I really feel like this is the school. But I did take into consideration like other schools, because you can't just knock it and like not. Yeah. So yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Are you gonna be a first generation?
Yeah, I am.
Just talk about that. Just being the first one in your family to be able to go to college.
It's exciting. It's different because my mom's not used to like her kids going off to college. Like her firstborn, my brother, he went to a community college, but he dropped out. So it technically like he didn't finish. So he went to North Shore. So it was really close. So it's gonna be a new experience for her to like see me go off into another state and like play for another state. Like it's different.
For yourself, just how happy are you that you're getting this opportunity to go to college?
I'm ecstatic. I'm so happy. Like, I can't even put it into words how happy I am on the fact that I'm going to college and playing for a team. Like, it's fun.
Was that? I mean, we all have dreams and stuff. Was that one of your goals, just to get to college? And then
oh yeah, 100%. That was always the goal. Like, we would have like circles, and we would talk about like, what do you want to study in college, or what are your plans after you graduate? And I would always say, just go to college. Like that's my number one. Like, I wanted to go to college. That was all I wanted to do.
Yeah, you're definitely getting that opportunity. Let's look back at you guys' season for a bit. You guys lost in the first round to Masco, but I feel like it was still you guys were still in the learning process of just trying to figure out what the high stakes of the tournament. I feel like you guys were still learning that as you guys went on because you guys went to the state tournament back-to-back years and feel like each year was an experience for you guys. I think you guys laid it down for the younger players, the experience, the level that they need to play to get a tournament win and just to keep moving on in the tournament.
Yeah, it's a different intensity.
Yeah, definitely. Can you just talk about the experience of playing in the tournament?
Yeah, so we were lucky enough to have a home game for our first round this year, which is so cool because that's never happened for us, I don't think, in a while, if anything. And it's just like you have to have that. It's like a different mentality. So now you know you're in a game that everything's on the line. Mm-hmm. Like wins don't matter at this point. It's one win after another. So we have to think about this game now. So once we win this game, it's the next game. And if you mess up and you lose, that's it for you. There's no more. Yeah. And that's what the young ones need to learn, that they need to know that.
Yeah. What are some of the lasting memories that you're gonna have of your years playing varsity and also of your senior year?
Lasting memories. I mean, this year, I feel like this year is like the year that I'm never gonna forget because we did, Northeast Conference champs. Like, I'm a Northeast Conference champ. Like, it's just like I got a lot of things this year that I've worked for so many years. For 4 years, I've been working towards this one goal, and I've accomplished it. So I feel like this whole year is just my accomplishment.
Hey, you guys did it. You guys going to college. It's a great accomplishment just to be able to get the chance to go to college because not many people get that chance to actually able to attend the college. So that's good for you. Congratulations on everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you guys in college and see what you do. And before we get you out of here, just plug your social media.
My Instagram's Jessica Ruiz 1, 2, and 3. Go follow, please, and thank you.
Yes, sir. Go follow her on IG. And make sure if they come around, when Plymouth State comes around, just make sure that everybody go watch them play.
Yeah, go watch.
You got to support those people. Jessica, thanks a lot for coming on. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
You and your family stay safe and healthy, and good luck at Plymouth State.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. You guys been watching Athletes Corner. We are out of here. All right, and we are back. Shout out to Jessica for that. That's cool to start. She was mad. She was very excited about getting the opportunity to go to college and just getting the opportunity to play, getting the chance to play college basketball.
Man, I'm excited for, every time I talk to you about Jess, man, I just get happy just because I told you she used to jump off the right foot, try and do a right-hand layup. She was all over the place, man. Like her goal was to dribble the ball between her legs as a basketball player.
Yeah.
She started playing. Now she's about to go play college basketball, so woo.
And she's first generation too, so that's big for her for doing.
How work pays off. She's the definition of it, definitely.
Yeah, we also talk about how you guys, these girls that are graduating, this is y'all first actual class that you guys are graduating that you've had for 4 years. I know I talked to them. They were happy about how the program was going upwards and how you guys helped them develop as players and as people off the court. Just talk about that. You guys just being able to, help them, guide them, get them to college, and also help them develop from when you first got them to their senior year.
Man, I think it was cool, man. I thank them for allowing, me and the English coaching staff to be able to coach them for 4 years, man. It was, I wouldn't say a roller coaster, but emotionally dealing with girls basketball is definitely a roller coaster. You never know what they're going through outside of school or home. So you never know what play you're going to get when they're coming in there. But one thing I always try to tell them is leave your emotions at the door. Not all of them, because you all are women, but you got to leave most emotions at the door and just come to work.
Yeah.
And Coach Max on your back about certain stuff, you can come to me because I have a different perspective, a different energy. I'm a little more chill because I can be. If I was a head coach, I'd probably lose my mind too, but I don't have to be because so it's more like, just give and take. Good, I want to say good coach, bad coach, a good cop, bad cop type vibe. Like, and it was cool because, that was my first year actually like really coaching. I've done boys AAU a couple times, but that was like the first time I really got into it.
Yeah.
So, man, it's definitely dope. And just, spending time with them, being around them, I smile when I come to practice, no matter how my day was going, just because the energy and just being around basketball and helping them get better and just seeing them improve really makes you want to coach more and get more involved and help them even more. So it's definitely dope. When you see them see the results and how they react, that's the dopest part about it.
Yeah, they also talk about the kind of after the season, like as they look back at everything, they kind of got what the coaching staff was doing, just all what they were trying to do and what they were doing with them as players, just developing them as players. They kind of got the bigger picture. They realized the bigger picture in playing, in building a program.
Sometimes it's hard. At this age, at their age, it's hard to see the bigger picture of anything because you're so consumed in your little world right then and there because you have to be. You know what I mean? MCAS, SATs, graduating, prom, everything. You're so consumed in your world. So, like, for them to really get it, I wish someone would have got it a little earlier. But now that they're getting it, I'm glad that they finally got it, though. Because that's the worst thing is, like, to try to teach somebody something and then never get it.
Yeah.
So even if they got it early and later, I'm glad they got it because now they can apply it to actual life and see the bigger picture with college and their careers and lives and things like that. And they can come back and help the younger girls see the bigger picture and widen it and broaden it a little better or make it a little more in detail so they can actually see the picture. Compared to the older ones just kind of like envisioning the picture, now they can actually show them the picture.
Yeah. They also mentioned that the two tournament games that you guys played the past 2 years, they said one thing they hope that the next group coming in, the returning players coming next year, they see that getting to the tournament is one thing, winning the tournament game is a completely different thing, and the focus you have to shift the focus. The focus you had in the regular season, you have to shift that focus into the postseason because it's literally win or go home.
They nailed it on the head. The problem with us was, as a culture, we're still developing the culture, and we were still developing it. So them making the tournament 2 years in a row compared to not making it 2 years in a row, they weren't able to balance because compared to making it maybe 3 years to missing it one. You know what I mean? You'd be more accustomed to it. So they were more high on. They were riding high on making the tournament, not realizing that the competition gets even harder. You know what I mean? Like the state has better competition outside this region. Mm-hmm. So we were trying to help them understand it, but it also just doesn't just start at practice. We're helping them understand it. It starts outside too. Like everybody can't be gassing them up, telling them they're the greatest. You gotta tell them that there's better opponents ahead and prepare you for that. And that's why we coach them that much harder throughout the season because we're like, personally, I feel we're supposed to run through these teams in North Shore. That's how I personally feel because I feel we have the best players around. When we get to the tournament, that's when you really have to compete. So that's why I feel we coach them that hard to prepare them for the tournament. It's not even about the regular season with us.
Yeah, and we got got another one coming up in a few weeks with some more players. Make sure you check out LCTV After the Whistle social media pages. Those interviews are up there. Past interviews up there. We got a bunch more coming up in the upcoming weeks. There's a whole bunch in the can, so we got more interviews with some of the student athletes for everybody. Let's go into some NFL right now. So did you see this? What happened last week? You know, May's usually NFL offseason headlines. So did you see Quentin Dunbar and I forget who the other guy was. They got arrested for armed robbery. You see that?
Yeah. I was kind of confused.
Did you read the police report?
Nah, I didn't read it. I didn't even get into it.
Man, those guys were, I don't know what they were thinking. They were at that party, no masks, no nothing. They just in there with guns and ready to rob people.
Woo.
And it doesn't help that you peel off in a Lamborghini and Mercedes and Like, what are you doing? Yeah, so they robbing people for fake watches, real watches, and that it was just a level of stupid.
Is times getting tough for these fellas? Like, like in the NFL, they don't even like playing they players, so I can only imagine them guys are struggling a lot.
But it's this they're still getting their they're still getting paid with their contracts for this year. They're still
Oh, I don't even know how much they're actually getting paid.
Oh yeah. But still not enough to be risking your career and your freedom.
I thought it was Corona. Why are they out the house?
At a house party too.
At a house party.
It's like it's literally the level of stupid that you never want to hear.
It's just some things you really have no explanation for. So when I seen that, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna continue to scroll.
Yeah.
For that, like, why?
Made no sense. Also, did you read the NFL trying to incentivize teams about hiring minority coaches? They have this new thing. They're gonna, teams that hire minority coaches, they get a draft pick. They get a higher draft pick or something like that, like a third round or something like that.
I can't swear on this, right?
You could. I'll just edit.
Yeah, I seen that stupid. Man, that could be the most disrespectful thing I've seen personally. I felt insulted still. Like, we still haven't came anywhere as a country that you're going to give people incentives to hire black coaches. You got most of your players are black. You don't think they're able to coach? I'm just saying.
And there's more. There's a lot of qualified African American head coaches.
What's it like, the affirmative action of football?
All right. The Rooney Rule.
Man, I don't want to hit, man. I'm just like, it bothers me that they still talk about black people like we're not even a human species. Like we're separate from them. Like there aren't more brown people than white people in the world. Please. Miss me with that.
Yeah, the whole thing was some people see it as a good thing, as a good moving forward, but it's still there's still gonna be some issues because why did it have to get to this point? Because if you look at some of the hires this year, I mean, the New York Giants hired the Patriots wide receivers coach as their new head coach. What was one of the issues that the Patriots had last year? Wide receivers. Now you go hire the wide receivers coach. The Cleveland Browns hired Kevin Stefanski, defensive coordinator from the Minnesota Vikings. If we saw the Vikings defense their last go around, it wasn't all that great. Now the guy who was the offensive coordinator for the Super Bowl winning team, he got interviews, but I don't think no one ever had any intentions of giving him a head coaching job.
Question though, do they have this same thing for Asian coaches, Hispanic coaches?
Nope.
European coaches?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never heard in my life.
Yeah, that's the NFL does. The NFL literally is always doing its most to just go backwards in time.
They love putting their foot in their mouth. They love doing something that just makes no sense, and they wonder why. Like after a while, I'm telling you, they don't get as much leg room as they think. And then I heard they're supposed to lose a lot of money if the season don't go or something like that.
Yeah, they're thinking about having a season with minimal to no fans in the audience, but that's still not gonna, all the revenue they make from the concessions and all the stores and stuff like that. They're gonna lose a lot of money.
But see, this is what happens when you got owners and people that don't want to pay their players. Karma hit you hard.
Yeah. Now I know everything's starting to open back up. I mean, the NBA and the NBA and the NBA Players Association have been having discussions about possibly resuming the season or starting the postseason. Me personally, at this point, I'm just like, I could care less about the NBA season this much. Just call it a scratch and get back to it next year, because it just wouldn't even feel right for them to start back up and then we have a whole season. It just, I don't know, for me, it just won't feel, it'll feel weird to have an NBA postseason so late, and it's just like,
it's gonna mess up. It's gonna mess up the timing for people. I think for next season, like hailing and stuff. Because if you're gonna drag it, you're gonna have to drag it like right till July or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and they're gonna want to start the season on time.
Yeah,
so,
one of the things they talked about was starting in December, but even still.
So then it's like from now on, you're gonna start the NBA in December. Because once you start doing stuff like that, it's gonna be consistent because you have to plan stuff a year in advance.
Yeah.
2 years in advance. So like, if you do this now, is it always gonna start in December? Like,
yeah, there was they're having a meeting. I think June 1st. They're having a meeting to see about allowing players to come back. Players who left their markets to come back to the market. I know some facilities already opened up, but voluntarily players could come in to work out and stuff, and it's just like restrictions to certain things. But I honestly think they should just take the L for this year. Make sure protect everybody because they've already had players contract the virus, so there's no need to put any more players at risk. No matter how safe it is, somebody said Jurassic Park was open when it wasn't ready, and we saw the result of that.
They made like 5 movies,
but
they about to make 2 more.
Right?
I watch all the Jurassic Park. Lost World was trash, but all the other ones good.
Yeah, it was. So I think they should. I honestly think they should just take the L. All these sports leagues should just take the L. I mean, Major League Baseball, we don't know what's going to happen with them. They were supposed to start sometime this month, but it's just pushed back. And they were talking about having games played in one location. It's like, no, this is too much.
Man, sometimes in life you just have to take it L. Sometimes in life you have to take an L. Like, that's just what it is. Us men, we know how to take an L. Women put us through all type of stuff. We know how to take an L. That's just life.
Right.
The rest of the world got to learn how to just take an L sometimes and move on. Like,
yeah, I agree because I just don't. I was just thinking about it. I was like, imagine if they start the NBA back up in June. I'm just like, they're gonna get right into the playoffs, and no, it's gonna be some ugly basketball for a good week.
And people gonna get hurt.
That always happens.
Some of those bodies need to warm up. Like, literally, like some of the vets, some of these guys are 7 feet tall. They're not 5'11", 6 foot. You know what I mean? Like, it's
yeah.
And who knows if they're all really staying in shape? I know Drew Holiday working on Instagram earlier.
I know Jason Tatum said he had just put a hoop in his house because before that he hadn't touched a ball since their last game. Right?
You know where I'd be at on this hoop. That's one thing I don't get. You're a professional athlete. You don't own a hoop outside your house. I seen professional athletes posting videos like, I finally got one of these. Like, you can't get such an spoiled mind state. You got to forget we all learn how to hoop on the blacktop.
You forget some of them. They just spent most of their times at the facility.
No, that's what I'm saying though. But we all grew up on the blacktop.
Hey man.
You know what I'm saying? No, like I get that. Like, yeah, but there's some days you might not want to go to facilities. Some days you might be a pandemic.
Hey man, yeah, I don't know. Plus in Massachusetts, out here, putting a hoop out here, that thing might get knocked down the next day.
You see what I got on mine, bro? All type of stuff on the back.
Yeah.
They on cement blocks from the neighbors, all that.
Yeah, I hear you on that. All right, and then hey, this is going by. We're going by. All right. Some high school sports update. There have been last night the Lynn Item named its all item team and item all stars honors team. Jarnell was player of the year, item player of the year. Joey Walsh from St. Mary's, he was on the all item team. Ademide, he was on the all item team, and for the all item honors all stars, we had JB was on there, Mason, Jack, Jeff Hill from Jeff Hill from Lynn Classical, Jeff Barbosa, Jaden Thornton from Lynn Classical, Lee and Josh Perez from St. Mary's. Shout out to all those guys, all those seniors that made the seniors that made it, and also the juniors that made it. It was well represented. A lot of guys.
Yeah, man.
Season.
I'm fortunate enough to, either play with them kids, work out with them, or just know all them kids up there. So you keep the good work. Kudos to all them kids, man. I hope they do well in the future.
Yeah, man. I mean, Joey, he didn't know. I interviewed him earlier. I broke the news to him. He was surprised as hell. He looked at me and he thought I was kidding. So he had to pull it up himself and saw he made it. And
but that's the good attitude to have, though. You can't walk around expecting to make things. You know what I mean? Be appreciative when you do make stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And stay humble and keep grinding.
Yeah, so that was on the boys' side. They have yet to release the girls. So when that happens, we'll put that up. But that's all we got right now. Yeah, I mean, anything else? Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
I mean, I'll be on the iPod next time. My bad, the iPad next time. This glare killing me, bro. Like, I'm over here two-tone, two-facing it. You know what I mean? But, nah, man, I just been watching, been watching a bunch of shows. Been watching Dockside of the Ring. Season finale was on hot last night. That was dope.
Actually, I've actually watched more wrestling than I have the past 15, 16 years. I was watching the Dark Side of the Ring too. I was watching the Road Warriors. I was watching.
It's my favorite tag team of all time.
Yeah, I was watching that one last night. I'm gonna watch the Owen Hart one tonight because I fell asleep. And then
did you watch the whole thing though? Both seasons?
Nah.
Yeah, man, it's quality show, man. Quality show.
Yeah, did you watch? So they also have on Ruthless Aggression on Fox Sports 1.
I heard about that.
Yeah, basically, the mid 2000s, like when Brock Lesnar and Batista and all those, when those guys were coming in.
Okay.
Basically that era. I was watching it. I was watching that last night. I was watching both of those last night. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I was sitting there like, man, I haven't watched wrestling forever. I actually watched WrestleMania 3 last weekend.
Yo, man, that's the difference between wrestling back when we was growing up. They actually were like, they wouldn't really hit each other, but it was scripted, but they still competed and fought sometimes, you know what I mean? And the matches be like 45 minutes, an hour long. There's no way you can't be tired after just getting hit. You know what I mean? Now it's so choreographed and punches getting hit from a foot away. Like, come on.
And there were so many characters back then. Even when you look at it, when you go back to like the mid 80s and the 90s, there were so many characters. What's the dude with the hacksaw?
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yo.
Oh, no, 2x4. My bad. Yeah, 2x4.
That dude had.
Oh, I forgot.
But I saw one. It was with the Iron Sheik and who was his tag team? The Iron Sheik's tag team partner. I forgot his tag team partner.
Man, I don't remember.
Yeah, that whole WrestleMania was hilarious. And WrestleMania 3 was hilarious. Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant going at it. It was pretty good. And then I saw the SummerSlam with The Rock and Brock Lesnar. I watched that one. That was entertaining.
Yeah, man. I miss wrestling. I miss the idea that people, they weren't, I can't even word this the right way, but I feel like we were younger, people could accept the entertainment part of wrestling. They knew it was choreographed and scripted, but they accepted it. They loved it. People wanted to be inside wrestling, the wrestler uncut. They ruined it for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, young kids and people who are avid wrestling fanatic fans have still get into it, but people who are just fans can't really get into it because it's so much, how they dissected it so much.
Yeah. Yeah, and wrestling's always going to have those diehard fans because, they're passing down, it's like a family event. But, yeah, after they went PG, when they started getting into the PG era of things, the product kind of took a hit. Granted, sometimes, from what some of the wrestling podcasts, the people I listen to, sometimes there'll be some episodes that are off the hook, and then sometimes there's episodes that are not so great. So it's like it's unbalanced. The broadcasts are unbalanced. It's like 1 week it'll be great, the next week it'll be subpar. As to back then, it was just like you got Monday Night Raw. It was crazy, and you're waiting for the Thursday night SmackDown. Anticipating for SmackDown. So that's kind of the difference now.
Yeah, man, there's too much money involved.
Way too much money, and plus they can't get away with all the stuff they used to get away with back then. They'd get canceled
because it's so big. If there wasn't as much money involved in WWE, they would be able to get away a little more. Like those them hardcore places, but there's no real money in them other places compared to WWE. People got action figures and video games and movies. Like, you can't have John Cena really getting jacked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, right? But I know I also finished the Marvel Marathon. I finished it the other day. Why was Endgame so damn long?
Honestly, you know me, because we went to go see it. I felt it wasn't long enough.
Oh man, I
felt it was sped up.
I enjoyed it, but I was like, damn. It was 3 hours. I was like, damn. But yeah, that's all I've done.
What else have I been done? What else have I been doing? I mean, I watch my anime from time to time. Kids look at me when I say anime like I'm crazy. Like, I do everything that's cool.
Right.
Like, so, on that My Hero still, Hero Academia. And then just, watching, I watched that Wu-Tang series.
Yeah.
Finally finished that. Just catching up on a lot of stuff, watching Defending Jacob.
Yeah.
You ever seen that?
I've heard about it.
Yeah, Chris Evans, Captain America. Starts off kind of shaky, but then it's not bad. I'm just always watching shows, man. Nothing else to do if I ain't getting shots up, working up, being a parent.
Yeah, definitely. All right. That's it. We got through this. Once again, go to LCTV After the Whistle Instagram page. You could see some of the posts, a lot of the video teasers. Some of the videos are up. If you go to linntv.org, you can watch some of the past interviews I've done with the student athletes who've committed to college. So make sure you go check those out. We got a bunch of interviews in the can that we will be airing within the next couple weeks. There's going to be a whole bunch, so make sure you tune in. We are out of here. We ain't going to get canceled yet. Maybe when we get back to the studio, we'll say more outlandish things, but it's different because we don't got Pedro directing, so it's different.
No.
We out of here. Everybody, have a great day. We'll see you guys next time, whenever we do another show. I don't know. Peace.
Couple weeks.
Yeah.
All right, man.